Once again, the world of celebrity drama is on fire, and this time, the flames are bigger than anyone could have predicted. Mendeecees Harris, a name that has long been associated with devotion, love, and second chances, is currently dealing with charges that have the potential to destroy everything he has worked so hard to achieve. Jasmine Bleu, who has long been suspected of having a complex past with Mendeecees, is at the center of this startling controversy. Yet up until now, her name had only been mumbled in rumors. She came forward today with allegations that are rocking the entertainment businesses. Fans have been witnessing Mendeecees and Yandy Smith-Harris' love for years as they have overcome innumerable obstacles and defied the odds. Strong and fiercely independent, Yandy has always taken great satisfaction in supporting Mendeecees, particularly in their most trying moments. She fought to keep their family together, raised their children with unwavering strength, and helped him through his legal battles. Now, however, everything she fought for and everything she believed in is being called into question. The accusations weren't made by an anonymous source or in a random blog post. Rather, they were made by Jasmine Bleu herself in a tearful, candid confession that has caused a stir on social media. She described her relationship with Mendeecees in detail rather than merely hinting at it. She described intimate moments that only those who were really involved would be aware of, revealing intimate details that created an unavoidably vivid narrative. What's the most harmful aspect? She says she's got receipts. The internet went crazy as soon as Jasmine's disclosures were made public. The response was divided and immediate. Some fans quickly defended Yandy, accusing Jasmine of being an attention-seeking opportunist and a clout chaser. Others, though, weren't so quick to reject her assertions. Now why would she lie? Why, after all these years, would she bring this up? These were the queries that were going around on all social media sites. Yandy said very little in the immediate aftermath. She usually acts quickly to dispel rumors, protect her family, and make sure her truth is known. This time, however, there was nothing at all, no flaming clapbacks, no cryptic tweets, and no Instagram posts. According to people close to her, she learned about Jasmine's accusations via social media, just like everyone else. Consider that. Expecting to see the typical news when you browse through your phone, you come across allegations that threaten to destroy your marriage. Conversely, Mendeecees did not reply right away either. And maybe that was the most telling of all. When he was accused in the past, he was always the first to defend himself and put an end to the rumors before they could spread. However, this time, quiet, nothing, no explanations, no denial. Silence frequently speaks louder than words in Hollywood. Mendeecees was under increasing pressure to deal with the situation. The internet became a battleground of theories and conjecture. Fans demanded answers, and gossip sites analyzed every word Jasmine had said. Why wasn't he refuting the charges if they were untrue? What would happen to his relationship with Yandy if they were real? Rumors of tension simmering behind closed doors started to circulate among the couple's close friends. Known for her steadfast loyalty, Yandy was reportedly in utter disbelief. According to those closest to her, she immediately turned to her inner circle in an attempt to make sense of everything. She was blindsided in addition to being hurt. After all, this was Jasmine Bleu, who had a complicated past with Mendeecees and was not just any random woman making unfounded accusations. Jasmine, too. She was not going to back down. She actually gave the impression that she was prepared to pay any price to ensure that the truth was heard. Her statements were clear and unambiguous. She included timelines, specifics, and personal anecdotes that made it nearly impossible to overlook her story. She wasn't done yet. In a subsequent post, she cautioned, "This is just the beginning," implying that even more startling information was still to come. As more people came forward with their own pieces of the puzzle, the media frenzy grew more intense. Social media detectives went into full investigation mode as alleged screenshots began to circulate and text messages were being examined. Everyone was curious as to whether Jasmine was being honest or if this was just another attempt to disband a power couple. The involvement of Yandy's family and friends fueled the flames even more. Some implied that Yandy might have disregarded warning signs that had been present the entire time. Others, on the other hand, firmly defended her, claiming that Jasmine was only distorting the facts to stir up controversy. However, one thing was evident regardless of one's stance. This was not going away anytime soon. Then the greatest blow of all came. Jasmine dropped another bombshell just when everyone thought they had heard it all. She asserted that she had firm, indisputable proof that could completely upend Mendeecees and Yandy's relationship. Do you think I'm telling lies? She posted something cryptic. Wait a minute. Fans went crazy over that one message. What was it she had? Were they images, messages, or videos? People began to believe Jasmine's claims more and more the longer Mendeecees remained silent, and the anticipation was unbearable. The situation was becoming too much for Yandy to bear. This was about her marriage, her family, and her reputation, not just rumors. After years of fighting to defend the things she and Mendeecees had created, she was now up against the most difficult obstacle of all. The tension only increased as the hours went by. The world awaited Mendeecees to speak up, Yandy to approach, and Jasmine to present the evidence she claimed to have. Everyone was aware that the days ahead would be very important. Was this the last time Yandy would support Mendeecees, or would she leave now? The drama had just begun. Indeed, it was only beginning. The atmosphere was oppressively tense. The fire was only stoked by each second that went by without Mendeecees or Yandy responding. Fans were constantly refreshing their feeds in a frenzy on social media, hoping for any kind of update. Would Mendeecees refute the accusations? Would Yandy say anything? Above all, what precisely was Jasmine Bleu clinging to that gave her such self-assurance? It didn't help that Jasmine was enjoying the attention, and speculation was at an all-time high. With more cryptic clues that had everyone riveted to their screens, she didn't back down, but instead doubled down. Do you really believe that I would put myself out there without any concrete evidence? No, I did receive receipts. And it's going to be a wrap when I drop them, she wrote, shocking the internet. Jasmine wasn't bluffing. The message was obvious. What was she waiting for, though? Why hadn't she shown her supposed evidence yet? Some admirers thought she was creating tension so that everyone would be watching her until she struck the last blow. Others conjectured that before she revealed everything, she was giving Mendeecees and Yandy an opportunity to come clean. In any case, time was running out. Yandy, meanwhile, said nothing. Her absence was noticeable for a woman who is well known for having a strong social media presence. Typically, she was quick to dispel rumors, defend her family, and counter any narrative that threatened the foundation she had established. However, this time, nothing. However, there was a lot of activity going on behind the scenes. According to people close to Yandy, she was struggling to control her emotions while processing everything. She was a public figure, a mother, and a businesswoman. Her personal life and brand would be impacted by whatever transpired next. She couldn't afford to decide too quickly. Mendeecees finally spoke up after that. It was a well-crafted statement that was shared on his Instagram stories rather than a dramatic clapback or a fiery denial. For attention, people will stop at nothing. He wrote, "Don't believe everything you hear." Brief, ambiguous, and insufficient to extinguish the flames. It only made the situation worse, if anything. The reply sounded contemptuous, as though he were dismissing the whole matter as if it were merely another rumor. However, this was more than just a story. It was an accusation that could endanger his marriage. The fans weren't happy. Instead of just a few words to minimize the situation, they wanted a genuine response. In contrast, Jasmine was enraged. Mendeecees' remarks were interpreted by her as a direct challenge. "Oh, so all I want is attention. Bet. I was going to let you guys deal with this in private, but now, I'm actually going to show out now," she shot back. Then it took place. Screenshots. The internet went crazy when Jasmine revealed what she claimed to be text messages between her and Mendeecees. A deeper relationship than Mendeecees had ever acknowledged was hinted at by the messages, which were full of loving words, plans to meet, and conversations. Within minutes, the screenshots were reposted and retweeted thousands of times, spreading like wildfire. Fans analyzed every word, blogs took up the story, and headlines cried treachery. Others pointed out the timestamps, the language, and the small details that made the messages seem all too real, while others attempted to argue that they were funny and manipulated for political advantage. Now Yandy needed to answer. There was nothing she could do. However, rather than making a statement right away, she took an unexpected step and unfollowed Mendeecees on Instagram. That one small gesture said a lot. It was an indication to the world that something was seriously amiss. In the era of social media, unfollowing someone was like slamming the door in their face. As soon as fans noticed, #YandyUnfollowsMendeecees went viral on Twitter in a matter of minutes. By this point, the internet was convinced that paradise was in danger. Yandy wasn't finished yet, though. She shared a mysterious message on her Instagram stories shortly after unfollowing Mendeecees. Loyalty is demonstrated by deeds, not just words. And the truth is always shown by deeds. That was it. Mendeecees is not specifically mentioned. No remarks about Jasmine were made in public. A single impactful message that had fans analyzing every word. Was Yandy using this as a covert means of confirming the rumors? Was she criticizing Mendeecees for violating her confidence? Fans were frantic to find out if this was the end of their relationship, and the rumors escalated. Mendeecees, meanwhile, said nothing. The damage had already been done after his one contemptuous remark backfired. The internet had turned against him. Yandy was obviously injured, and Jasmine was still being attacked. Then, as if the situation wasn't already dire, a second bombshell was revealed. One of Yandy's close friends, who had been a member of their inner circle for years, made the decision to speak up. She stated in a startling interview that Mendeecees had previously been caught in a messy situation. She claimed that Yandy had ignored the warning signs for some time in order to protect their family. She adores him. It has always been obvious. But sometimes, love can blind you, the friend disclosed. And I believe that she is now coming to the realization that perhaps she has been neglecting some things. The disclosure merely fueled the flames. What did it mean for Yandy and Jasmine's marriage if even their closest friends were implying that Jasmine's claims were true? Supporters were divided. Others remained hopeful that Mendeecees would establish his innocence. Others felt deceived, thinking Yandy had sacrificed everything for an unworthy man. The most important question, though, was still what Yandy would do next. Would she defend her marriage the way she had always done? Or did she finally prioritize herself at this point? More significantly, what else did Jasmine possess? If history had taught us anything, it was that people typically mean it when they say, "I have more to show." One thing was evident as everyone awaited the next action. This was not your typical celebrity scandal. There was no end in sight to this full-fledged crisis. The internet was in disarray. No one was holding back, and everyone had an opinion. Supportive comments were pouring in from Team Yandy supporters, urging her to keep going, to leave, and to put herself first. Supporters of Team Mendeecees, meanwhile, were frantically attempting to defend him by asserting that Jasmine may have posted fake messages. However, the actual query still stood. What would Yandy do? She didn't say anything for hours. No posts, no interviews, no statements. The internet was already ablaze with that one mysterious message about loyalty. However, Yandy was confronted with the most difficult choice of her life behind closed doors. She was devastated, according to those close to her. Not only because of the supposed betrayal, but also because of the associated public humiliation. She had defended Mendeecees for years, supporting him during his court cases, his incarceration, and every other hardship they had encountered together. And this now, it was about her reputation, her brand, and her whole identity, not just their marriage. Yandy had long been regarded as a strong, self-reliant woman who didn't put up with rudeness. Would that image change, though, if she continued to live with Mendeecees? Would she begin to be perceived as weak? She couldn't allow that to occur. She finally broke her silence just as people began to question whether she would ever confront the issue directly. Yandy's Instagram live stream. Thousands of people watched her as soon as she stepped onto the screen. It was impossible to read the comments because they were coming in so quickly. Desperate to hear her words, everyone was holding their breath and waiting. Before she spoke, she inhaled deeply. With a calm yet firm tone, she started, "I know everyone has been waiting for me to say something. And believe me, I have also been waiting. Because you don't just react when something like this occurs. You think, take a step back, and adjust your movement accordingly." The conversation erupted. Everyone was clinging to every word. I'd experienced a lot in my life. I've had to defend the people I care about, had my loyalty called into question, and had my name dragged through the mud. One thing, though, I've never done. I have never performed for myself. And I'm not going to begin right now. It was obvious that Yandy wasn't going to allow this circumstance to break her. However, was she attesting to Mendeecees' deceit? Or did she mean that she was supporting him? Then the moment that rocked everyone to their foundations arrived. I've looked at the posts. I've perused the communications. I'll just add that people occasionally act in ways to get attention when they feel ignored or excluded from a conversation. That's all I have to say about it. Boom. It wasn't a complete rejection, nor was it a confirmation. Yandy was doing what she did best, which was to carefully choose her words and say just enough to keep people guessing. The internet instantly became divided. Some thought she was accusing Jasmine of lying, implying that the messages were fabricated or misinterpreted. Others believed that she was attempting to minimize the circumstances in order to save face for Mendeecees. She then revealed yet another shocking revelation. "I want you all to know that I'm okay, regardless of what occurs next. I'm always good, and I'll always decide what's best for my family and myself. That is all that is important." Millions of people were left with more questions than answers when she abruptly ended the live stream. Did she continue to live with Mendeecees? Did she intend to go? Were the messages genuine in her mind? Most importantly, was there more drama ahead, or was this one finally over? Jasmine had no intention of leaving it at that. Jasmine responded on her own Instagram a few minutes after Yandy's live ended. "So I'm only doing this to get attention now. Stop playing, girl. You are fully aware of the situation." She was not going to back down. Jasmine then boldly promised, as if the mess wasn't enough, "You guys really believe that was everything? Oh no. I received more. I believe it's time for me to release some videos, since we want to pretend that this is all made up. Keep an eye out. Videos? Video evidence might be the last nail in the coffin if people believed the screenshots were harmful." As fans kept refreshing Jasmine's page to see if she would follow through, the internet exploded once more. Mendeecees, meanwhile, remained quiet. He hadn't answered Yandy's live message. He hadn't responded to Jasmine's most recent threat. People were clamoring for answers on his entire page, but he provided none. Did he think the situation would end? Was he doing damage control behind the scenes? Or did he share everyone else's shock? Then, without warning, Jasmine's page became private. All of her posts vanished from the public eye in an instant. Even those who were already following her saw that some of her previous posts had been removed, and those who weren't could no longer see anything. Was she in danger? Had she decided against it? Or was this merely a ploy to create tension before she revealed the purported video evidence? No one was aware. However, it was evident that this was not the end. By no means, there was complete chaos on the internet. Things had gotten worse when Jasmine abruptly decided to go private. People were rushing to understand what had occurred. Had legal threats been used by Yandy's team? Had she finally had a backstage conversation with Mendeecees? Or was Jasmine merely manipulating the situation to create tension before revealing the most shocking revelation to date? Fans waited, hoped, and anticipated for hours as they reloaded her page. Then, all of a sudden, Jasmine's page went live once more. However, things were different this time. She had deleted some of her posts, including the screenshots of the purported messages that she had first shared. Rather than that, she shared something fresh that shocked the internet. "Sometimes the truth is too much for people to handle," was the only message posted on her Instagram story. However, have faith that the truth will always be revealed. No videos, no recordings of voices, nothing. Only those words. People were incensed. Had she been playing a bluff all along? Was she intimidated into keeping quiet? Or had she been telling lies all along? However, Mendeecees finally spoke up before anyone had a chance to comprehend Jasmine's cryptic message. Rather than confronting the accusations directly, he shared a photo of himself on Instagram with a straightforward statement: "Loyalty speaks for itself." There is no need to defend the truth. The comments went viral right away. Some fans interpreted this as a categorical denial, thinking Mendeecees was being firm and not amenable to what he perceived to be falsehoods. But others weren't persuaded. They believed that his silence had already said a lot. Why not state it directly if he was innocent? Then Yandy did something that no one had anticipated. She shared a photo of herself with Mendeecees, adjacent to one another. The caption? "Not a problem." Was this Yandy reaffirming that she was staying? The internet went crazy. That she thought Mendeecees was superior to Jasmine. That in spite of the chaos, she had chosen to support her man. Or was all of this a planned face-sagging tactic? Others weren't buying it, but some fans praised the post, saying it demonstrated the accusations weren't true. Instead of reacting emotionally, they thought Yandy was just controlling the narrative and playing the long game. However, just when it appeared that things were beginning to slow down, a fresh development rocked the world once more. Jasmine went live. Thousands of people tuned in eagerly to hear her words as soon as she stepped onto the screen. She had a serious expression, no cosmetics, no filter, just unadulterated feeling. She shook her head and said, "I understand what's happening. I hear people claiming that I made everything up and that I lied. Let me clarify, though, just because I chose not to post something doesn't mean it doesn't exist." The conversation was blazing. You guys are free to believe whatever you want. However, I am aware of what I am, and karma doesn't miss in the end. She then put an end to the live stream. No fresh proof, no more invoices. Another cryptic message that only made things more confusing for everyone. Where did all of this leave us, then? Mendeecees had made no admissions or denials. Yandy had made the decision to support him, or at least appear to support him. Jasmine, too. People began to wonder if she had been telling the truth from the beginning because she had gone from disclosing everything to abruptly holding back. There was no doubt about it. The truth, whatever it was now concealed beneath layers of media manipulation, public perception, and individual pride. As Jasmine mentioned, karma never fails. Now the question was, who would it target first? This is not the end of the story. Fans remain divided, the internet remains buzzing, and what is the truth? That is still debatable, though. Will Jasmine finally reveal the conclusive evidence and put an end to everything? Will Yandy stick by Mendeecees, or is she merely pretending to be strong while handling this crisis in private? Mendeecees, what about them? Will he allow the rumors to continue unchecked, or will he eventually come forward and clarify the situation? There is no doubt that this drama will not end anytime soon. If there's one thing we've learned from such circumstances, it's that secrets always manage to surface when you least expect them to. What do you think then? Is this just another desperate attempt to remain relevant, or is Jasmine telling the truth? Will this scandal be the last straw, or will Yandy stand up for her family? To ensure you don't miss the next shocking update, leave your thoughts in the comments section below and remember to like, subscribe, and enable notifications. Because this is just the beginning of the story, believe me, and you'll be shocked by what follows.